What's going on, guys? It's your boy, Tom Talks Rubbish, and today I'm back with another video following on from a video I put up recently where I talked about my top 10 favourite female TV characters of all time. I thought today I would talk about my top 10 favourite male TV characters of all time. So let's get into it, with number 10 being Horatio Kane from Csi Miami. This one is purely a sentimental pick because he was my favourite TV character as a kid. He, to me, he doesn't have much character development, but to me, as a kid, and even now, when I watch Csi Miami, he's so cool. With the sunglasses and the badass entrance lines, and the almost outlaw way he treats things of shoot first, ask questions later, and the way Csi Miami framed him as just with these cool lines and stuff like that. But again, the reason I'd probably put him so low on the list now is because I love characters that have some character development. So, and with him not having much, I wouldn't put him as high as what I would have if I made this list when I was a kid, if that makes sense. But yeah, number 9 is Leonard Hofstar from The Big Bang Theory. Again, I've spoke about this in previous videos where I've talked about The Big Bang Theory and other comedies. For me, comedies do not work unless you have that character that can react to the big moments, similar to the audience reacting. For example, the character I'm talking about that makes most of the comedy, I couldn't think of the word I was looking for then, but is Sheldon Cooper, who we will get into in this list of. But for me, Sheldon's comedy would not work without Leonard almost reacting to him. But he also has his own comedy and his own storylines, because like I spoke about in my female list, I love his romance with Penny, his almost whipped and almost changing romance when he was dating Roger's sister Priya. I love his failed attempts at romance and bits like that. But I also love how he's geeky, but he can be normal if given the chance. And I feel like that's a character that I relate to. I have my geeky side, but I can suppress it if I need to. He suppresses it, but it's not who he really is. So I love how, in my mind at least, it teaches you just be who you are. And also I love the fact that in the end of the series, he achieved not only his dream of big things in science, but also his dream of becoming a father. And I just love when characters get satisfying endings. Number 8 is Ray Holt. Once again, a character who is more of a reaction part of a sitcom than Ray Holt from Brooklyn Nine-Nine, because he will react to Jake Peralta's antics with such a dry and demeanour and reply, but also he's very good at creating his own. For example, the hot damn moment when Amy Santiago, who we spoke about in the female one, was late to work and he guessed why. So I really enjoy, but I enjoy also, for me, he's a very good portrayal of a gay character, because he's not a character you'd think of as gay, and it's not completely in your face. And I really like how it's so subtle and so understated that you wouldn't know unless you've seen certain episodes. But I like the fact that they use him to acknowledge it, if that makes any sense. I also really like how he does come across as this emotionless robot, but when things hurt him, and you see him slowly opening up throughout more of the series. For example, in the later seasons, I always get confused. Seasons, he wants to become commissioner of the NYPD. And when he doesn't get it, he finds himself going to Mexico and almost I don't know what to do with my life now, sort of thing. So, and you see that the emotions of him really affected him. But also, I love how, we said with him reacting to Peralta, the one person in the series that can get him to almost act like Peralta is Chief Wunsch, Madeline Wunsch, who's like his former partner turned nemesis, and they act like school children around each other, and I really enjoy that. I find that really funny. Overall, yeah, I just find Captain Holt really funny. Number 7 is Spencer Reid from Criminal Minds. Very similar to in the female one when I talked about Jennifer Duro from Criminal Minds. I really like how Spencer started out as this nerd who was almost like a computer in a human body. You could ask him a question, but he wouldn't start a conversation. But if you asked him a question, he would know it and bits like that. But I really like how, again, as the series progressed, he fell in love with a woman, but unfortunately that ended in tragedy. So you see him almost broken and emotional in the next episode. I really like how his relationship with JJ evolved to what I would call a schoolyard crush to him becoming the godfather of her children. Brain, I can't think. I love how later in the series we see him have a head injury and his brain not be able to process as much, so he, very similar to the Big Bang Theory almost, has to learn how to work without his brain until it comes again. And I love how, I'm sure I'm missing out stuff, I love how he uses chess strategy to solve a crime, and just bits like that really. I love how, once again, right at the end of the series, he gets a satisfying ending and just realizes that the BAU or Criminal Minds is where he belongs. So yeah, this list is hard to explain, guys, so I'm not gonna lie. Number 6 is Tim Mcgee, probably from NCIS, probably the character on this list that I relate the most to, because he has moments where he can be kind of cool, kind of suave and debonair, but he also has moments where he is a nerdy computer geek, and I feel like that is a character that sums me up in some ways. But enough about me. I really like how Tim Mcgee started off as, I feel like he, again, unless you think about it, he's not really a character that's had much development, but if you look back from the early seasons, he was almost a chubby, like, nerdy one of the group, and became but then started slowly finding love and doing more with the team to later get promoted to work with NCIS full time. And then when Gibbs retired, Jeffro Gibbs we will get into later, he became the senior field agent, to writing a book in his spare time about his NCIS team and himself. His relationship with Abby Shuto on NCIS I find really cool, because it's almost like this on or off again relationship, to him eventually where we are now, him now the senior field agent with Tony's departure, and married with kids. I feel like he has evolved the most out of all the NCIS characters, other than Gibbs, but we'll get to that in a minute. But I find that really cool. Number 5 is Jake Peralta. Alright, I've been building this up through both lists, but for me, Jake Peralta, once again, is a character who has become evolved again. Like, he started out being a immature kid. All he cared about was catching the bad guys, didn't care about the paperwork or wearing a tie, for example. But as the series progressed, he has become more of a realizing that catching the bad guys and paperwork to catch the bad guys is important. And we've seen him mature not only as a cop, but as in a relationship. He's now married with a child. He's now married to Amy Santiago, who we spoke about in the female list, with a child. And I love that. I love how he I'm sorry guys. He's also I'm trying to think. Like, I love to look back his relationship with Amy in the first season to being like this competition, and he'd done everything to lose. He would do not anything to not lose, and I love how he became essentially, like, in the next season he then realised, wait, maybe I do fancy her, and then seeing their relationship progress has been cool, and then moments where he lets her win in competitions to make her happy I find fun, and just bits like that really. I also love how I'm curious to find out in the final season of Brooklyn Nine-Nine, season 8, how having a child is going to evolutionise his character. And I feel like that's just going to be cool to see. Number 4 is Sheldon Cooper from The Big Bang Theory. Once again, a character who is more responsible for the bigger laughs in The Big Bang Theory. Like, for example, he is the nerd who won't let anyone sit in his spot. He wears specific shirts on specific days. He becomes... but again, this was all in the first season, and I love how the development of his character is as he gets to know Penny more and more. I don't want to say normal, that's the wrong word, but like more... Okay, I'll say normal. Normal people, he becomes more normal in himself. Like, he's less... Nowadays, he's now married to Amy, his girlfriend, and I love the evolution of their relationship to it being just a relationship of the mind to then them becoming boyfriend and girlfriend, to them breaking up and him being devastated and realising that emotions are important. But I also love how he doesn't slip back in... Yeah, occasionally he'll slip back into old habits and become the emotionless robot, and he has to realise that his friends can't do that. But my favourite scene is in the finale of The Big Bang Theory, actually. He wins the Nobel Prize and achieves his collective dream and realises that he tells his friends who he's had an argument with, I'm sorry I haven't been the friend you deserve, but in my way, I love you all. Catch in my throat and tear down my cheek every time I watch that scene. Like, it makes me smile. I think what makes me smile more is the fact that you see he has a massive bit of paper of a speech that he was going to read saying how great he was, and he realises, wait, this ain't about me. It's about the people that I have helped get me here, and bits like that. And I just can't say enough things about Sheldon Cooper that I really like. Number 3 is Lucifer Morningstar from Lucifer. Once again, a character who started out as a bit of a playboy and like the world's about me, for lack of a better phrase. But I really enjoy his evolution of now he takes crime solving more seriously and shows up on time, and his evolution of his relationship with his mum, who's a demon that came down in a body of someone he dated, which was weird but still cool. He became... I love how his relationship with Chloe Decker, who we spoke about in the female list, has become more intimate, and like him realising that, oh wait, I am the devil, but I can change. And I love the fact that Thomas Ellis said this in an interview. It's a story of redemption, and I love how, as the series progressed, we're seeing Lucifer change from the devil to almost an angel. I hate using that cliche, but I do love how he's become sort of nice, and I love his banter with the forensic scientist Ella. I love his relationship with Daniel, who's Chloe's ex-husband. Basically, like, they've got 2 alpha males and it looks like they're going to punch each other in the face all the time. But I love how Lucifer's always able to charm him. I'll say that. But yeah, I just love Lucifer. And anyway, number two, and I'm excited to see in the final season where we go with Lucifer. Like, will he become? What will happen? And I'm just very curious to see. Number 2 is Leroy Jethro Gibbs from NCIS. Once again, a character with so much development in him. I love how in the first 3 seasons really, you didn't know much about his personal life. All you knew is he was an agent, he drank coffee, he had these rules he lived by, and he'd been married several times. But then the twist at the end of season 3, where at the beginning of season 3, I think it was first revealed, his wife and daughter were killed in a car accident, and we then later found out that he killed, because he was a sniper in the Marines, he killed the guy that did it. And he's been harbouring this secret for 25 years. And I love how we're now at season 17, I think, with NCIS, and as things have got bigger, more people know about his secret, and I love his almost like holding his breath to find out when is this secret gonna be revealed almost. And I love his relationship with Abby Shuto. I love the forensic scientist, and like his relationship with his team of, yeah, I drill this into you, but I do it because I care, because I lost people and I don't want to lose you guys almost. I love retired Gibbs, let's put it that way. I love how when he was a civilian for 4 months, when he retired from NCIS, we saw him basically go off the rails and drink, have a beard and long hair. And I love how that was called back in later seasons. And when asked about retirement, he was told, I don't know what I would do without what I do, essentially. And I love how everything seems to be coming full circle for Gibbs. Like, yes, he lost his family, but his new family is NCIS, and I love how he's figuring that out. But yeah, I just love Jethro Gibbs. I also love his relationship with... Sure, I'm leaving other stuff out. I love how, let's just say, he'll do anything to clean up the city and make it a better place, essentially. Yeah. Number 1, this is a bit obvious, but it's Richard Castle from Castle. And yeah, once again, as I said with Kate Beckett, I love how, in the female list, I love their relationship of it being, like, Castle started out as this playboy who wouldn't commit to anyone, and as he fell in love with Kate, he committed to her more. I love his relationship with his daughter, Alexis Castle. I love his relationship with his elderly mother, who is a flamboyant, out there actress who moves in with him due to losing her life savings. And again, she probably would have been number 11 on my list, because I love how she... and bits like that. Anyway, I really like how he had later became a useful part of the crime-solving thing for Beckett, and she said, I don't want to solve another murder without you. I love their wedding scene, where I love how... But, yeah, again, the only thing I don't like about Castle's character is, for me... Oh, wait, no. Him and Beckett got a satisfying ending. Like, I love how him and Beckett become a family with kids. And I love how we see him... An episode I absolutely love of Castle, if you guys have seen my top 10 list of 10 Castle episodes I love, you will know, is an episode when they're in a parallel universe. And I love how if he hadn't met Beckett, he wouldn't be as successful. And I feel like that's just a story of telling people you love them and bits like that, really. And, like, realising that things happen for a reason. Overall, guys, I love Richard Castle because, for me, he's a writer, And as someone that would love to be a writer and also a crime fighter, he's my idol, and I find him really cool. Overall, guys, they're just my 10 favourite male TV characters. If you haven't, make sure you check out my top 10 favourite female TV characters that should be up on the channel by now. And I'll see you in the next one. Bye, bye.